So welcome back to another advanced math video tutorial. This time we will discuss mathematical operation of complex number. We first deal with addition and subtraction of complex number. So in addition of complex number, in adding complex numbers, the real parts and their imaginary parts must be added respectively. I-add lang naman natin yung real part sa real part, sa imaginary part sa imaginary part. Then for subtraction of complex numbers, in subtracting complex number, their real parts and their imaginary parts must be subtracted respectively. So, subtract lang naman ba? Kung addition is add, same lang. Halos same lang sa ginagawa natin sa algebra. So, let's have an example. So, we have C1 equals to 3 plus 4i, C2 equals to 4 minus 3i, C3 equals to negative 3 minus 4i, and C4 is equals to negative 10 plus 5i. Perform the indicated operations and express answer in rectangular form. So for letter A, Z1 plus C2 is equivalent to 3 plus 4i plus 4 minus 3i. So we just add the real part and we add the imaginary part. So 4 plus negative 3i. So 3 plus 4 is 7. 4 plus negative 3 is I. So this is the answer for letter A. For letter B, we have C1. This time we add 2Z3. So C1 plus C3. This is negative 3 minus 4I. Again, we add the real part, 3 plus negative 3. So we have 0. And we add 4I minus 4i, and that is 0. So we have C1 plus 0 is C1 plus C3 is equivalent to 0. For letter C, this time we're dealing with subtraction. So Z4, that's negative 10 plus 5i subtracted to C2, which is 4 minus 3i. So that is negative 10 minus 4. Then we have plus 5 minus, this minus, negative 3i. So negative 10 minus 4, that is negative 14. And 5 plus, this negative times negative is positive, that is plus 8i. So this is the result for letter C. Next example, so letter D. So we have C2. We write C2, that's 4 minus 3i minus C3, that's negative 3 minus 4i, and we add C4, which is negative 10 plus 5i. So this time we add all real part. So that is 4 plus 4. So this minus, so minus negative 3 is plus negative 10. Then we add plus negative 3. Labas na natin yung I. Minus negative 4 plus 5i. So the result is 4 minus 3 is 7 minus 10, that is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 4 is positive 1 plus 5 is plus 6i. This is the result. We add these three numbers, C2 minus C3 plus C4. Next example, so we have we have C1 is equivalent to 3 plus 4i conjugate plus C2 conjugate. So we have 3 plus 4i, that's conjugate, plus the conjugate of 4 minus 3i. By definition, if we have a conjugate that is equivalent to the opposite sign of the imaginary part. So from 3 plus 4i, the opposite sign of positive is negative, so this is 3 minus 4i, plus 4 minus 3i, the opposite of negative 3i is positive, so this is 4 plus 3i. Then we perform the addition of two complex number, that is 3 plus 4 is 7, and negative 4 plus 3 is negative I. So this is the result. We add the conjugate of C1 plus the conjugate of C2. Next is we subtract Z1 and minus C3 and we get the conjugate. So this is Z1 minus C3. So we have 3 plus 4i minus C3 is negative 3 minus 4i. So we subtract the real part and we have a conjugate still. So 3 minus minus 3, that's 6. 4i minus minus, that's positive 8i. Since we are dealing with conjugate of the complex number, the positive sign will result to the opposite of it, which is negative 8i. So for letter M, the result is 6 minus 8i. So that's it. So how about if we have, let's say we have two polar form that are given. Let's say we have, for number 2, let's have two polar form. Let's see, one is equivalent to 13 at angle of negative 112.62 degrees, and the other one is in trigonometric form. That's 7.071 cis, or the reduced form 135 degrees, and we want to get the value of C1 plus C2 as well as C1 minus C2. So what's the value of C1 plus C2 and C1 minus C2? So first, we need to get the value of Z1 in terms of rectangular form. Since wala naman discuss or walang solution na pag siya ay nasa polar, we just add R1 and R2. So we need to convert this into rectangular form. So in converting to rectangular form, x1 is equivalent to r, which is 13, and the angle is cosine negative 112.62 degrees. Then for y1, that is 13 sine negative 112.62 degrees. So the value of x1 is negative 5 and the value of y1 is negative 12. So meaning z1 is equivalent to negative 5 minus 12i. For our z2, we just expand the equation 7.071 cosine 135 degrees plus I sine 135 degrees, and this will result to negative 5 plus 5i. So we have now C1 and C2 in rectangular form. We can perform the addition and subtraction of these two complex number. For C1 plus C2, that's negative 5 minus 12i plus our C2 is negative 5 plus 5i. So negative 5 minus 5 is negative 10, negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7i. So this is for the addition of these two complex number. Now, if we will subtract these two number, that's negative 5 minus 12i minus, make sure we have a parenthesis because negative is distributed not only on the real part but also in the imaginary part. So negative 5 minus minus 5 is 0, and negative 12i minus 5 is negative 17i. So the result or the difference of these two complex number is negative 7i. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.